Welcome to The Rundown. I'm your host, Matthew Stell. We've got a lot of news to cover today, so let's get started. This week, Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein submitted his resignation Monday, ending a 2-year run defined by his appointment of a special counsel to investigate connections between Donald Trump's presidential campaign and Russia. Rosenstein appointed Bob Mueller in May 2017 following the recusal of then Attorney General Jeff Sessions and oversaw much of his work. Rosenstein's departure has been expected following the confirmation of William Barr as Attorney General earlier this year. In his resignation letter to Trump, Rosenstein paid tribute to the president, even praising his sense of humor despite being the subject of some of Trump's jokes on Twitter. His last day will be May 11th. Over the weekend, 3 were injured and 1 was killed in a brutal shooting at a San Diego area synagogue. The shooting happened before noon Saturday morning at the Shabbat of Pomes. Lori Gilbert Kai was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Authorities believe John Ernest, the 19-year-old shooter, carefully planned his acts, as Saturday was exactly 6 months to the date since the Tree of Life synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh and the last day of the Jewish holiday of Passover. Ernest was chased and apprehended by nearby citizens, later on being taken into custody. The shooting comes just a week after the terrorist Easter Sunday bombings in Sri Lanka. Former Vice President Joe Biden has officially entered the 2020 presidential race, announcing his candidacy on last Thursday. Biden jumps into an already crowded field, but most polls have him already leading his primary opponents. President Trump, who has famously nicknamed Biden Sleepy Joe, says the only reason he was elected president is because Obama and Biden, quote, didn't finish the job. But some of Biden's past actions, such as the Anita Hill Senate testimony and being one of the main authors of the 1994 federal crime bill, have come into question, with some believing that it will hurt him as the campaign heats up. This week, for the first time in over 100 years, a Japanese emperor abdicated the throne. On Tuesday, Akito officially stepped down as Japan's ceremonial leader in favor of his son, Crown Prince Narita. Our Rundown contributor, Rafa Farihah, has more about this historic transfer of power.
Japan's 85-year-old monarch is going to be the first to leave the throne in 200 years. He's going to be replaced by his 59-year-old son, Crown Prince Naruhito. Akihito was much loved and will be remembered for connecting with his people in a way that no other Japanese monarch has done before. Here's what we know about him. Akihito ascended the throne in 1989, when his country was still dealing with the wounds of war. He made waves by admitting responsibility for Japan's wartime aggressions. And his father was considered a deity, so Akihito interpreted this role much differently. He made sure to be more approachable to his people. Akihito was the first monarch to marry a commoner in nearly 2,680 years of imperial history. In 1992, he became the first Japanese monarch to visit China, where he said he felt a deep sadness for the suffering his country inflicted on the people of China. He visited sanatoriums, housing leprosy patients, and championed the Paralympics. After having heart surgery and overcoming prostate cancer in recent years, the monarch cited health reasons for stepping down. His son Naruhito will be inaugurated as the 126th emperor. Here's what we know about him. The Crown Prince studied at Oxford University and is passionate about environmental issues. And like his father, he married a commoner, Masako Owada. He's also mentioned that he will continue his father's legacy of speaking out against revisionist history of World War II. Back to you, Matt.
Thanks, Rafa. This week, Hollywood lost a film icon in that of John Singleton. The director and producer suffered a stroke during the weekend and was removed from life support on Monday. Singleton is known for popular films such as Boys in the Hood and Poetic Justice, both centered around predominantly African-American cast. Singleton made history as the first African-American and youngest director to be nominated for an Oscar. He will be truly missed. Finally, Woodstock 50, the music festival planned to commemorate 50 years since the original Woodstock, was abruptly canceled by its investors on last week. Jay-Z, Santana, Chance the Rapper, Miley Cyrus, and others were set to perform at the Late Summer Festival in upstate New York. Tickets are not on sale for the event due to a need to refine logistical plans. No word on whether the event will be rescheduled or replanned. On a special note, it has been an honor to host this great program for the past 3 years. This is my last newscast as your host. I want to thank the thousands of you that have tuned in weekly and entrusted me to deliver unbiased and objective national and world news. Thank you to this awesome COOGTV crew and staff that have been so dedicated over the years as well. While this is goodbye, I do believe that the best is yet to come. But for all of us here at COOGTV, I'm Matthew Stell. To God be the glory.